Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. You are watching the Rapture Gaming League and we are gonna see Impervious taking on Titan. Impervious is gonna be needing to get a win because right now, I mean, we're still in the group stages. There are 7 teams in the group and only the top 6 move on, and Impervious is the one that's sitting all the way at the bottom. So they really need to win, and Titan is looking pretty comfortable where they're sitting right now. They're in 3rd place. They're doing pretty okay, but, you know, could get another win in, as well as because, I mean, Titan, of course, made off of most of Orange. 4 people from Orange, of course, in Titan, and they haven't been doing as good as you might expect them to for number 3 TI3 contender, the third place winner, since they lost Mushi, of course. So they definitely need to get some more confidence back and just get another win in just to hold their name up high. Impervious, they are the team with nothing to lose. They are the team that will try to make this happen, even though they are playing with a couple of stand-ins today. But should be okay regardless, because they have secured themselves a bed rider, able to pick that one up, with Titan already having a very solid draft as well, with NDOD and a Naga Siren. Pretty scary for Impervious to go up against those two. We've got a Visage and an Elder Titan banned out by Impervious, with having the bans a Weaver and a Razor on the side of Titan. Of course, Razor already banned out because they wanted to get the OD. So they're going to continue banning out counters against that OD, and even though Bed Rider is in theory able to lane a bit against an Elder Titan, or sorry, an OD, it's not an ideal hero to have up against the OD. We're probably going to see some more bans, perhaps even a Kunkka ban. Kunkka and Lone Druid are 2 heroes that we sometimes also see up against the OD, same as the Viper. Although I don't think the Viper is all that hot as a counter towards the OD in the eastern scene as it is in the western scene. But we'll see which one Titan wants to go for. Impervious, they ban out the Darkseer, needing to ban out an offlane, or at least they know that Titan still needs an offlane. Titan so far with a Naga Siren and an OD. Pretty strong combination. I mean, OD, one of the strongest laners there is. Naga Siren is probably one of the more controlling heroes there is next to the Darkseer in terms of team fight. And of course Darkseer is that because of the vacuum, Naga Siren because of her song, and she has an ensnare. So overall just doing really well as a support, and we're going to assume that she is a support in this one as well. Impervious managed to get a Bed Rider, so that's going to be a nice hero for them to have, and of course a hero that is very versatile because we see him in the mid lane, we see him on the off lane, we see him in the jungle. Nyx Assassin. Now, of course, normally we see him as a support, but Nyx Assassin sometimes actually gets put up against the OD in the mid lane. And even though I'm not a fan of that, because even though Nyx is pretty good against an OD, he's normally only pretty good against an OD later on in the game. At the start of the game, OD will get the upper hand. So we'll see what Impervious does with that Nyx, and if they are indeed going to use it as a support or not. Titan feels obligated to ban out the Alchemist after banning out the Lifestealer, just to make sure that they don't have to deal with that hard carry. Perhaps they want to try to pick up the Gyrocopter themselves. Gyrocopter, a hero that combines up really nice together with the Naga Siren. Not only late game because of the, of course, cooldown after the Song of the Siren, but also because early game you can just ensnare someone, Gyrocopter gets a chance to move up towards the target, rock a barrage, and if there's a Riptide there, that's probably going to be a death on the enemy side. Chen gets removed from the pool by Impervious. Don't want to deal with the jungle hero up on Titan. We still have an Enchantress in the pool though if they want to go for something like that, or perhaps they want to just get the Enchantress themselves, as they were the ones to first ban a hero and then pick one so often. Or sometimes we see that a team just bans out a hero that is a counter to which hero they want to pick up next. So we'll see if that is indeed the case, or if they are going to be going for something else. Of course, I mean, it all depends on what they want to do with their 2 heroes, because I just said Nyx Assassin, Bed Rider, it's so open in terms of what they want to do with those 2 heroes. That the next hero, it's either going to give a lot away and then Titan will be able to move off that one, or it's just going to be a support. They have to weigh their options, of course, because if you don't pick up a hero that makes it clear where you're going to want to go for, you have the risk of Titan picking up that hero instead. For example, if you want to pick up your hard carry right now, well, that would be maybe saying a bit more about what you want to go for. We have a Keeper of the Light though. Keeper of the Light, Nyx Assassin. Now if those 2 are supports, that's a very scary combination. And I think everybody is thinking the same thing. Phantom Lancer. Of course, works well together with Keeper of the Light. We know that. We know that Nyx and Keeper of the Light themselves work well together. And I actually like this. Nyx Assassin is a counter towards both Bad Rider and Keeper of the Light because of his Spike Carapace. Now, what I would love to see is a Rubik up on Titan and steal the Spike Carapace, which is, by the way, pretty tricky to steal because Nyx Assassin normally uses other spells after or before, or yeah, it's a tricky spell to steal. But it would work out really nice if they can get that going. On the other side, if they do get a Rubik, then of course that Spike Carapace is gonna work against the Rubik if he steals the Keeper of Light Illuminate, for example. But let's see what Titan is gonna go for. Are they gonna secure themselves a Gyrocopter, or are they gonna secure themselves a secondary support? Naga Siren works well together with a lot of different supports. We've seen her lately combine up with the Crystal Maiden quite a few times. But Jakiro is the one they want to go for. It's a bit it's not really old school, but it's out of fashion. Let's just put it that way. Of course, we've seen Naga Siren Jakiro quite often because, of course, you have got the Ice Path up on the Instant Air to follow up on that one. You've got the Macropyre and the Ice Path that you can position perfectly after the Song of the Siren. And also, together with the OD, is the same story again with the Ice Path over the Astral Prison target. But we don't normally see that much anymore because Jakiro himself is kind of squishy, kind of slow, and Nyx Assassin. If this Nyx Assassin is solo mid, then that Jakiro is going to be a really sad Jakiro because that is going to be ganked often. Very often. And because of the turn rate of the Jakiro, Nyx Assassin should be able to get the Vendetta and the Impale off before Jakiro can just do anything at all. Let's see if Impervious go for that Phantom Lancer or if they're gonna be leaving it for Titan to perhaps ban it out. Or maybe they want to try and bait out the ban on the Phantom Lancer and go for something else anyway. So they go for something else regardless. Not waiting for a ban. They pick up the Anti-Mage, so they want to have still a hard carry. Doesn't really combine up that perfectly with the Nyx Assassin and a Keeper of the Light, though, of course, both of those supports, if Nyx Assassin is a support, I mean, again, I keep saying that. But if Nyx Assassin is indeed a support, then, I mean, both of those supports are very safe supports. They should be able to keep the Anti-Mage farming for a long time coming, and that also means that Titan has to be careful about what they put on the offlane. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Nature's Prophet pick up here, because he is still in the pool. As well as Clockwork, by the way, but Clockwork does need to be on the lane, and you can't really do that when there's a Nyx and a Keeper of the Light there. But Nature's Prophet, at least something that rotates into the jungle. An offlaner that can do more than sit on the lane, so there's of course a couple of that. I mean, even for example, Beastmaster that can farm Ancients is not that bad in this case. But Nature's Prophet would be a nice one to see. They go for the Juggernaut first, so they have got themselves a trial lane complete. With Jakiro, Naga Siren and Juggernaut, I mean, you've got a pretty hard pushing lineup, because once the healing ward is a bit leveled up and Naga Siren goes for mirror images, which she doesn't normally do at the start, but maybe in this case she does, they could push real hard. And with that Ice Path, I actually think they've got a nice killing potential. The only trouble I think they're going to run into is that there's not going to be that many people on the off lane for Impervious, because I'm expecting Impervious also to find someone who would be on the off lane and then goes into the jungle instead. Nature's Prophet is the one to get banned out, no surprise there. Impervious of course already have the Bad Rider that could rotate into the jungle. Doesn't need to be on the off lane, then pick something else to go up against that OD. Or maybe still have the Nyx Assassin up against the OD and put some get some other support like an Enchantress, put her in the jungle or something like that, depending on what that anti-mage is gonna face. If they're expecting to face an aggressive trial or not. Timbersaw removed from the pool as well, another offlaner banned out. I have to say, I'm quite scary for Titan, unless, actually, because we have seen a lot of times the Juggernaut combined up with a Lone Druid. Perhaps Lone Druid can be on the offlane and then just pull creep waves back, and that would be a safe way to farm for him. The only trouble they would then face is that their mid-game is not as aggressive as Impervious mid-game, because even though OD is definitely not a bad one, he does need a bit more time. Like, you can't just say, like, Bad Rider is ready to go in and be aggressive once he has his Blink Dagger and his ulti. That's the only thing he has to wait for. OD needs a bit more. Ooh, Impervious go for the Earthshaker, so I am actually thinking that this indeed is a Nyx Assassin in the mid lane up against that OD, and that means that they have even more possibilities to be aggressive in that mid lane, because not only do they have a Nyx assassin, they also have a Bat Rider. Nyx only needs his level 6, Bat needs his level 6 and a Blink Dagger, which in the jungle he'll get fairly fast. I mean, we've seen 8 minutes Blink Daggers in the jungle if he has a good time. Earthshaker can of course deny some creep waves on the bottom lane if he wants to, even though the Fissure is not buffed yet, as it will be again with 6.79, but he can still farm the Ancients on the dire side. Not really farm, at least deny a creep wave. Lone Druid indeed picked up by Titan, and as I said, I mean, it's a combination that we often see, purely because both of the heroes are hard to kill. Juggernaut, Lone Druid that is, hard to kill, and later on in the game they both have a way of going high ground. They've got the bear, they've got the healing ward, and their pushing power is going to be immense. But the question is, do they actually get to that point? Because what is going to keep them in the game? Are they going to run this aggressive, put the Juggernaut, or put the Lone Druid on the safe lane? I would actually not be against it completely, definitely not now knowing that the Nyx Assassin is actually probably in the mid lane. Actually, I see this and I have my doubts again. Not entirely sure where the Ascendants are going to go towards, but I do believe that this Bat Rider is El Smurf. Actually, I know that this Bat Rider is El Smurf. And perhaps he wants to go mid instead. Well, we'll see where they're gonna go. We're waiting for Impervious to pick up their heroes. We'll introduce the players first. Of course, Titan will be on the Radiant side, Impervious on the Dire side. You are watching the Rapture Gaming League. We are in the group stages. And of course, it's only one game. It's best of one. So, Impervious kind of need to win this. They are in not a very good position in the group stages. Basically, they are lowest in of the group, like lowest of everybody. And there are 7 teams in the group, and only 6 teams make it out to the playoffs. So you definitely don't want to be on the bottom of that list. Titan doing pretty good. They are sitting on 7 games won, 3 games lost, if I'm correct. I need to say though that they have won most of their games while they were still orange, because of course this group stage lasts for a pretty long time, and it already started before TI. So when they were still orange, and when they still had Mushi in their team as well. So it is definitely something to keep in mind here when looking at the scores. Titan will be on the Radiant side. As said, Titan will have Net play the Naga Siren. What's in the name, right? With the ensnare being a net. Ha, fun. KYXY will play the OD. Will probably be going towards that mid lane, or at least, well, perhaps not. Perhaps we're going to have a safe trial lane with OD farm in there. But Extinctor X will play the Jakiro. Will be helping out the trial lane. Ice will take on the Juggernaut. Picked up boots and got pulled a bit. Now, one thing, of course, that you have to keep in mind, this is not possible after the next patch. It looks like Ice is actually planning on going off lane with those boots in his inventory, and it looks like we're going to have Ohio on the Lone Druid in the mid lane. So interesting laning options here, as Impervious or Titan definitely want to dodge that that mid lane from Impervious, but we'll see soon enough. We have got, of course, on the side of Impervious, they are Dire. We have Insidious C playing the Nyx Assassin. Looks to be indeed going mid, so he will be going for a fast bottle. We have Kyo playing the Keeper of the Light to try to take care of the bear. Fissure actually helping out with that. Kyo and the Keeper of Light. Ninja Boogie, the carry, will be playing the anti-mage. No surprise there. The stand-in Drakon will play the Earthshaker and has already picked up some sentries. Looks like, yeah, he gets lucky. He gets the mana back for the blink that he used. Woohoo. And of course, like I said, El Smurf, that's this one. A Bat Rider is El Smurf, and he'll be going towards the jungle. I'm not sure if he can actually do something on that bottom lane. Perhaps he wants to try and help out. Ice actually making his life maybe a bit more tricky here. But we have got a safe trial lane. So this is probably one of the safest trial lanes that you can think of. Both of these heroes, both Keeper of the Light and Earthshaker, are known for being that hero that, you know, just stands back and either illuminates or fissures. No one is going to come close, and if they do try to come close, there's going to be a fissure. My overlays right though. Yeah, cool. There's going to be a fissure and you can't do anything anymore. It's going to be illuminate. This is just very annoying to deal with for Titan. If they actually were trying to go aggressive here, which they're not. They're trying to just get some experience up on Ice. If he can come close, I think he can actually, especially once if he gets his level 2, he'll probably get a healing ward, so he can deal a bit more with the spam that comes out towards him. Now, one thing that you have to keep in mind is that Earthshaker is normally very mana dependent, and is a hero that is, you know, if like brings 3 clarities to the lane. My name is not David. I do know that. Thank you for pointing that out. But it is a hero that needs a lot of mana, and hey, look at that mana battery in the house. Keeper of Light also picked up 2 clarities, indicating that his chakra magic, who want this packet at level 2, will be mostly used for that Earthshaker. And of course, gonna be pretty useful for him. And of course, they will have free reign over the jungle. They can just farm a bit. And Keeper of the Light actually is able to farm a bit more by himself. Actually, he can jungle in a way. Though this game is gonna be tricky because, of course, Elsmurf will be in the jungle as well. So perhaps he can farm these two camps with the Illuminate and the Fissures and such. Someone gave someone a hug. That's nice. Looking at the bottom tri lane, I mean, when there's two safe lanes going on, you're gonna look at the supports and you're gonna see like how are they gonna try to get their experience going. And Jakiro will of course be stacking and pooling. He can't be farming as effectively as a Keeper of the Light though. Net also a hero that is not that effective in the jungle, though Riptide definitely not something to be shy about. But the most important thing here on the bottom lane is, I mean, anti-mage, fair enough. He'll farm, he goes for the gold, levels will come with the gold, and levels will come in time, it doesn't really matter. Now the reason why OD is mostly played mid is because he needs those levels, he needs to get ahead of everybody else. So where Impervious can have their supports actually maybe get a couple of levels on the lane. I say a couple, but I mean just, you know, one for each perhaps. This supports on the bottom lane, they really have to make sure that they cannot take experience from OD. It's just that simple. They can't afford that. He needs to be getting ahead because Titan, I mean, I already said, like, Titan has got a, they have got a Juggernaut and a Lone Druid, and if they are doing okay, then at some point they will be able to push up the high ground. Now, they have to find that sweet spot where they are able to harass Anti-Mage a bit, so that he cannot get as much farm as he otherwise would, and still get enough farm themselves. And the sweet spot would be the place where both Ohio as well as Ice are ready to fight and ready to push, and where Anti-Mage is not really ready yet to join the fights. So it's really important for Titan to have a good mid lane, and of course that comes with important to have a very good support duo, a very effective support duo. They are the ones to provide the farm for Titan, as we already see this middle lane going okay-ish for Ohio, sitting on 7 last hits for 1, with only 2 last hits for the Nyx Assassin, who burns through his mana fairly quickly, but now has got enough gold to pick himself up a bottle, and he will do just that. In the meantime, looks like Ice is having his lucky day, because he does get some experience, and he even gets himself level 2. We do have pools going on right now, though. There was first a stack, and that's why the level 2 is up on the Juggernaut, because there was first a stack before pool, so then another creep wave comes through. So pretty decent for Ice that he is able to get himself to level 2, because now with that healing ward, he can be on the lane a lot longer than he otherwise would. And he's actually gonna pool a bit for himself, making sure that Ninjabuki is gonna have a tough time getting the farm up, even though he does manage to pull the lane back again from the creep wave. But at the same time does mean that the creep wave is a bit closer towards where Ice is, and therefore he will get some experience. Granted, not all, because there should be some denies for the anti-mage, but it will be there. Now, in a game like this, where I already said Lone Druid and Juggernaut are very tough to kill, the question is, where is that first blood gonna be? Well, it could be if Batrider kills himself in the jungle, then Forest would get first blood, even though, you know, that doesn't really work, I know that. But in theory, if all works okay, we're gonna assume that Ice is a smart guy, knows how to deal with the Juggernaut on the off lane, and therefore does not die. We're gonna assume that Ohio knows how to play Lone Druid, and we know that he knows how to play Lone Druid. But we should have a first blood once supports start to rotate. That's gonna be the most important. Keep an eye on how fast the supports level, who is gonna get ahead first, and who's gonna rotate first. And of course also if Nyx Assassin gets level 6, if he rotates straight away. Nyx Assassin is one of those heroes, same as Beastmaster, that once level 6 you know that he is gonna try and use that Vendetta. You know that he's gonna try and use his ultimate to get a kill. And if he is missing, it's the most obvious thing. You know what? Sit by your tower for about 20 seconds, because that's how long Vendetta level 1 takes, I believe. Yeah, 20 seconds. And then you know that you're safe. You're not gonna be dying. And then he's gonna come back to the mid lane, and everybody can be continuing to farm again. Now, in Nyx's Assassin, if he is smart enough, or if he's lucky enough, depending on which runes he gets. For example, if he gets an illusion rune, that would be nice, or invisibility rune, or haste rune, whatever. Then he's gonna be having a good chance to get a first blood. But it's up to him to really work this through. One thing that I would also like to see is that when Nyx's Assassin reaches level 6, and he does indeed try to go for a gank. Oh, Draken, careful there. He really wants to go for that rune, but he won't be getting it. Illusion rune goes to ice. Rune control, very important in this one. As I said, that could be the difference for first blood. Nice by Carapace. Nice entangle as well. That's also something to watch out for. Entangles, that can happen since that Lone Druid did reach level 5. In the meantime, on the bottom lane has a push going on. I mean, it's up to Titan to get an early head start, and towers down. Definitely a way to do that. And maybe they force a bed rider there as well. Ooh, actually another entangle. This is first blood. One more hit. There we go. Nice by Carapace. Actually might be able to do it. The bear. Can he get that extra hit in? No, he cannot. Ohio, why are you doing this? Are you gonna get a first blood? Yes, you are. First blood goes the way of Titan. Entangles MVP. Luck MVP. Now, one thing to keep an eye out. Oh, he's not level 6. Never mind. I thought he was closer to level 6, because if he would have been level 6, this would have been the perfect opportunity for him to rotate and get himself a kill in. Down goes the tower on the bottom lane. No deny. Illuminates try to push the lane back out, but tower already dead. Keeper of Light is level 2, almost level 3. Let's take a look at the Earthshaker, who is level 3.5, doing pretty nice for himself. Jakiro sitting at level 3. Naga Siren level 2, so very even on the support levels at the moment. Slightly ahead for Impervious, actually, with Keeper of the Light now level 3. In the meantime, Ice sitting at level 4, and we compare that to the Bat Rider, and it's basically not a battle for Bat Rider. Bat Rider is going to win this regardless, because he just farms so much faster than an off-lane Juggernaut. There's no question about it. And this Bat Rider, actually, in terms of farming, he went for Tranquils, he got his bottle. Thinking maybe a 10-minute Blink Dagger if he is decent enough, especially if he gets help from the towers going down. Fortification gets forced out. We already have got, of course, a bit of support around here. Juggernaut could try to pull the lane back, and therefore make sure that the tower does not go down just yet. And it looks like he will be successful in that, as Earthshaker will... Actually, they jump forward. They burn all his mana. I thought he jumped back. Awkward. Oh, some trouble here. Naga Siren trying to run for his life, and that's going to be an Invis rune helping out. Naga Siren going to deny himself, though. Very nicely done. Juggernaut still goes down on the top lane. There was a mana void used for that. We saw him already burning all his mana away. Sorry for that. Apparently my voice doesn't really agree with me today. But nice kill for Ninja Boogie. Scary one as well, because of course that's the one you want to shut down. In the meantime, Ohio gets ganked, gets killed. Lone Druid 3-4-1. 3 versus 1, I should say, with the lasso being used for that. No Blink Dagger needed for that one, as we do have an Earthshaker hanging around. They want to try and get the Jakiro. Blink forward for Ninja Boogie. In comes the Fisher. Waiting for it. Drakon goes for it, finds it, and that's going to be another kill going the way of the Anti-Mage. Clean and simple, 4-1. Titan on the back foot for sure. And Ice still level 4. I'm not able to make a big contribution to the game so far. And Titan really needs to get some pressure going, because... wow, seriously? I already said, like, they have got this... Titan needs that sweet spot. But if they are delayed too much with their items, then Anti-Mage will be ready to fight before Titan can do anything at all. So they cannot afford to let Anti-Mage have a good time, unless they are having an even better time, which at the moment, they're not having a good time. Next Assassin, getting some more items, or at least has got 1k gold now, so curious to see what he goes for. If he, for example, I mean, if you're feeling really confident on your next assassin, you can always go for Dagon, which in this case is not even that bad, because even though Lone Druid and Juggernaut are not really that susceptible to it, I mean they're quite tanky, you can easily kill off the Jakiro and the Naga Siren continuously, because they're still level 4, and your next assassin level 7. Goes for Mana Boots first. He can kill off any support on the map right now by himself, and solo kills are definitely a way for you to continue being on top. And on top of that, you want to try and shut down Net, because you want to make sure that he does not have a song to cancel initiations once Impervious goes for things like that. As Bat Rider, not yet done with his blink, obviously. Of course, he did take a trip to mid lane, and even though that's not bad, because he made sure that Ohio died, in a way it does cost him some farm. He gets more when he just continues jungling, I believe. But good cause for sure. Ohio farming his ass off, sitting on a hand of Midas. It's a kind of ticking time bomb there on the anti-mage, so they have to work against the clock, and you can tell. Naga Siren, Jakiro hanging back past by Ohio, knowing that they have to protect him. They are sacrificing their own farm for it. In the meantime, of course, there are the supports of Impervious that are actually doing okay. Keeper of the Light is actually farming some on the bottom lane, where he can be by himself, knowing that the supports are not there at the moment, even though right now they're missing from the map. And Earthshaker is getting things on top. He is level 6. He has got, of course, that Echo Slam. Echo Slam, which is a pretty decent ability, especially if you're up against the Fisher. Blade Fury away from ice should be enough. But yeah, if Naga Siren goes for illusions, then that's going to be helping out the Earthshaker quite a bit. And I already said, like, Titan, they want to push. So illusions are a big part of that. As we do have almost a tower down. Anti-Mage blinks himself away again. That bear trying to pull the creep wave back. In comes Ohio. They know they need to protect this tier 1 tower. And they also know that they need to shut down the Anti-Mage. They're going to try to do it right now. In comes the OD. First time that he leaves this lane. He's got the mechanism. He's doing quite okay for himself. He's actually keeping up with the anti-mage. And this is gonna be Titan making a go for it. Titan going for their 5-man death roll. They are sitting here with all 5 heroes. If they would lose a fight right now, we can almost consider this game over for them. We'll see though. Fissures, Illuminates, Echo Slam, that's already one down. And that's also the one with the healing ward, aka not sitting around the tower. In comes Smurf, and Snare will stop him from dragging KYXY down even further. Nice Ice Path, dual breath. Sanacy's Eclipse, not killing anybody off just yet. More Fissures, KYXY gets burnt down. X in some trouble, Net getting chased down as well. The supports will drop, and it is the last one alive, the Bear, Ohio. It is gonna be a team wipe, because they are gonna chase this one down until he drops. There we go, ultra kill for the Bat Rider. And, well, he didn't have a Blink Dagger before this fight, but he definitely does have one now. And I just said that Titan, they needed to win that fight to have a chance to get this going. And now with them losing this 5-on-5 fight... Am I saying 5-on-5? Because really? Was this guy even there? No. Nyx Assassin was not there. Just Fissures. 2 well-placed Fissures, Echo Slams, and of course the last 2 helping out. That's all it took. 4 versus 5 and the 4-1. So they got a ton of experience, a ton of gold. Bat Rider now all of a sudden sitting highest up on net worth, which is pretty impressive, sitting on 3,500 gold. He could have bought his Blink Dagger on the side shop, but apparently that is not good enough for him. We almost have a Battle Fury ready for Ninja Boogie. This is trouble for Titan. And the question is, what are they gonna do to try and make this right? Are they gonna try to do it again? Because, I mean, this is kind of their strategy. This is kind of something that should be working for them. Or are they gonna try to just take it late game and play very safe and just farm. I'm actually not sure if they can do that anymore. So we'll have to see what Titan actually decides, because that's gonna be the question in this case. How are they gonna handle their defeat, basically? How are they gonna deal with a farmed anti-mage who's got boots and who has in 50 gold enough gold to get his Battle Fury? That will be a 13-minute Battle Fury, which is pretty damn fast, especially if you're considering that there's also boots and a poor man's shield at play as well. Looks like smoke up for Impervious. Want to try and keep their advantages, and of course want to show off the Blink Dagger for the Bat Rider. If they can kill off Ohio, would be a good one. They know he's there. In he comes. There is a lasso. That's gonna be a Illuminate going through. Fisher and Ohio taking a ton of damage. That's gonna be Flamer helping out and a kill. Echo Slam even being used for that. Kinda overkill, but better safe than sorry. Perhaps KYXY can make something happen here. But in comes the Nyx Assassin. He's got that Vendetta up. Wants to go for KYXY. Impale comes out as well. He has Mana Burn only at level 1, which is a pretty strong ability up against KYXY, but oh well. Level 1 is gonna be just fine as well. They're continuing to chase them down. More mana needed for the Earthshaker before he can land another Fisher, but he does have 6 stick charges. Nice Impale. KYXY gonna be the target. Flame Break, that's gonna be 1 OD down. Net running for his life will be successful, but they got the 2 more important targets. The supports were hanging around but couldn't do anything, and that just shows how important it is to get your supports those levels, because Net, if he was level 6, that would have been a whole different ball game. That would have been Titan at least either getting away alive, or maybe get a turnaround and get some kills in themselves if they could set up for Jakiro's Macropyre and Ice Path, assuming that he was level 6 as well, of course, which is not the case. And Titan, I mean, they've got 3 heroes that need a lot of farm. They've got the OD, they've got Lone Druid, and the Juggernaut. All 3 need a lot of farm, and even though Ice, I mean, he's been shut down a lot, they kind of sacrificed his farm. They knew he wouldn't be getting that much, but he needs farm still, quite a bit. So where are your supports going to get their farm from? Because any place that is free to farm right now is going to be taken by one of the cores. And they need to just leech it from their cores, and that's going to be even slower farm. Perhaps they can make something happen here. They look to be trying to. They have got a smoke up in Jakiro if they want to try and make it happen. They want to try and make something happen. Tier 1 tower bottom lane will be taken down by a solo anti-mage who goes for Vlad's. There's going to be some split pushing going on for him, as Illuminate will make sure that there's not going to be a push happening here on this middle lane. That just cleans out all the creeps. Perhaps they still want to try and make something happen here, because they are not moving back. Siege Creep still helping out. And they just use the bear to tank things up here. Another Illuminate will clean out at least the Siege Creep here. Oh, no, deny. But at least it doesn't go to the Keeper of the Light, I guess. They took the tower down to half HP, which is, or even below that, which is pretty nice. But in the meantime, they used 5 heroes to push that. And they didn't get anything. They didn't even get the full tower. So it's quite risky. They smoked up right now. Ice, Extinct, and Net making a go for it. That's an illusion. You saw Ice maybe even go for that, but they have to move up to the high ground. They're gonna try to go for the Batrider from the high ground. In they come. They realize he's supposed to be there. If Batrider would Firefly right now, we would see them all. They actually back off. They're too scared. Now in they come. And the last 2 grabs Ice. And actually that's a recall back from the Keeper of the Light. Blade Fury, that's Ice already down. Nice 2-man Impale. Echo Slam comes out. That's gonna be KYX by dead as well as Extinct. Double kill for Impervious' Batrider, L Smurf, and of course just 3 dead. It's 1 to 14. Impervious, they have got the late game and they've got the early game, and apparently they've got the mid game as well. They are just rolling over Titan at the moment. We see the gold graph. It started out okay-ish for Titan, and then bam, things went south real fast, going to the 10k in favor of Impervious in terms of gold, but already it is 12k in their favor in terms of experience. It is looking pretty grim for them, and we're only 16 minutes into this game, so that means that we've got 2k experience in favor of Impervious per minute. Per minute. Yeah, that's trouble. Look at this. They are so worried that they're even farming with all cores together, with the entire team together. They did get the tier 1 tower, by the way, in the meantime in mid lane. Well, I say got them, but it was actually deny. But towers down in this case is all that Titan can ask for. They need to have a bit of control, and even every little bit of gold that comes in is so important. So it's a shame it's a deny, but it's good that it's down. Perhaps they can get a tier 1 top as well, but while they do that, we see a push coming off from Impervious on the bottom lane, where there's 4 people of them here. We've got the Vlads ready up on Ninja Boogie. And we've got in the mid lane Batrider just farming away. Free farming away. He is 6 for 0 to 4. That is insane. Jungle Batrider, who wasn't even the most high farm jungle Batrider that we've ever seen. But getting an ultra kill at about 10 minutes into the game kind of does help that quite a bit, actually. It looks like Kyo is already trying to pull some people back towards him, or at least he could. So they want to face this. Blink forward. Fisher up on 2. Illuminate only hits the creeps though. In comes more TPs. Tower goes down. Do they want to fight? Yes, they do. Ice Path doesn't hit. Only Slash. Doesn't really do that much up against the Keeper of Light. In comes the last 2. Grabs Net. No song for you. And that is going to be Naga dead before he can sing. Ice trying to make something happen. Another Fisher goes through. Ice tries to run forward. Will end up getting dropped, probably. Runs forward. Impale does hit. That's a kill right there. The only one left alive is X. Gets picked up. This is another team wipe. Look at the health bars on the top for Impervious. It doesn't even look like they fought at all. Another 18-minute GG in the Rapture Gaming League. Impervious looking very strong, but at the same time Titan looking very greedy with their lineup, and perhaps next time they'll learn from that and make sure they've got themselves a better matchup, because this just looked quite troublesome indeed. 0-4-0 on both the Jakiro, the OD, the Juggernaut. It is yeah, it's pretty troublesome. 18-minute GG. That's the way it is. We are gonna see another game though for the Rapture Gaming League. We're gonna see Myth taking on First Departure. This should be a way more even game because these two teams are sitting in the top 2 of the group, and they will be disputing each other for that number 1 place. So because they're both sitting on 7 wins, and even though they've got different amount of losses, they will try to find out who is the better team of those two. So Myth Trust versus First Departure will be our next match, so stick around for that. We'll be right back with another game of Dota 2.